War. War never changes. Or something like that. I haven't played Fallout yet. However, the weapons used in war have changed. You might not know this, but our closest relatives in the animal kingdom, the chimpanzees, also wage war on each other. They have their own territories and do not accept chimps from the other areas. They fight with their body strength, teeth, and determination. Humans, however, created tools before they waged war against each other. The throwing spear was first used to hunt, which makes sense, and war against other humans would be too costly. Remember this, for the cost of war and weapons will be addressed later in the video. Anyways, let's talk human weapons. So first, we have the throwing spear from 500,000 years ago. Light, relatively easy to make and easy to use. Very cheap. So as not to prolong this video, let's say that next in line is swords, which appeared 5,000 years ago in the Bronze Age, and persisted until very recently. Light, feasible production, especially later on, easy to use and very deadly. Man, those look awesome. Alright, guns. The Chinese invented these bad boys in the 10th century. In no time, the human being perfected these gunpowder machines to its state of art. So now we have the oh-so-handy handgun. As of today, guns are easy and cheap to make, widely available, easy to use and very deadly. Now we're approaching the thing we actually want to talk about. But before, tanks. Those are like 100 years old, and although they're costly to make, they have more than proven its usefulness in warfare, being both highly defensive and offensive weapons of terrible destruction. They were created to carry soldiers from one place to another safely. Death delivery! Man, I'm not too fond of the military. Anyways, they have a purpose. They move, carry the guys, protect the guys, kill the other guys. Need moving on the ground? Tanks. In the air? Jet planes. Water? Battleships. These are prepared for combat in their respective areas. The jet plane is great at flying and terrible at walking on the ground and swimming. Ships are great in the water, but yeah, you get the idea. But us humans, we are greedy. We want it all. We want ducks. No, really, we want ducks. They can fly, swim, and walk. Now we just need missiles and a laser sword and we're ready to go. Anyways, yeah, but the thing about ducks is that they're not great swimmers, flyers, or walkers, and no laser swords, and they're definitely not as armored as a tank, sadly. What I'm saying here is, this ain't happening in our world. Thank God, actually. You can find a bunch of videos in the internet explaining the science of how impossible it is for mechs to even exist. And I'm terrible at physics, so I'm trusting those guys. But also, there's a deeper question of the existence of mechs, which is, why? Why would a mech exist? Why would someone go to the great lengths of creating an expensive mobile weapon that can do flying as well as a plane, can swim, and would probably not be as defensive as a tank, while being a much bigger target in the battlefield? And that makes a ton of sense, of course. Aside from visuals, mechs don't offer much in the warring front. However, I would like to talk to you guys about a game series I have recently jumped on, that for me explains how there could be some motivation to construct mechs in a specific given scenario. Let's talk about Armored Core. After making 3 Kingsfield games, From Top finally created a new series in Armored Core back in '97. In Armored Core, you take control of the homonymous Mechs and kill other people for profit. Yeah, that's kind of a bleak description of a video game, but the game makes a point of it. That's what you're doing. You're a mercenary hired by these giant corporations to do their bidding. Your first mission is to murder some workers that are protesting for better working conditions. They're using their work robots to protect themselves. Muscle tracers, as they're called, MTs. But you, oh no, you're a mercenary backed by a giant corporation. You have something a bit more advanced. An armored core, AC. So, of course, with a proper mech, you destroy them easily. Here's the thing. In this universe, the armored cores, the advanced mechs used for battle, are just more advanced and armored versions of the work mechs, the MTs. The work mechs came first. Their usefulness was to lift heavy objects, move stuff around, etc. It is through this technology of the muscle tracers that armored cores came into existence. So, in our world, do we have any similar technology? Of course, articulated mechanical robot arms, used in industries, especially for making cars, are super common. Some of these can lift like 400 kilos. They're also heavy as fuck though. Some MTs are just big ass mobile cranes. Yeah, muscle tracers. Armored core, baby. Also, look at this. Just thought it was cool. Alright. I hear what you're saying. No, trucks aren't mechs. No, it's not humanoid. Now, if you know a tiny bit of Gundam, you might recall the jargon mobile suit. Yeah, this makes me think of exoskeletons. These powered exoskeletons are becoming kinda common in our world, even in the industry. They say it's mainly for worker safety, which is a rare read. Look at this one. It's named Guardian Exoskeleton. This shit is like 2 steps from being a fully fledged mech, man. They say this suit amplifies operator strength by 20 times. That's crazy. Now, I'm definitely not saying this is the future, or even that it's safe. I haven't done any research into it, literally. But there's definitely a market for it seems. Anyways, some of those powered skeletons use this technology called pneumatic air muscle, a name that speaks for itself. Which brings me back to Armored Core. How were the factory robots called again? Muscle tracers. Yeah. Coincidence? I think not. Yeah, but how could a huge hunk of metal even stand on its own? I don't know, but small robots already stand on their own pretty fine, like look at this little shit go. Yeah, so if powered exoskeletons become very common and start evolving from there, I can see something like this, minus the guns, being used in the industry. And if that's the case, I'm sure workers would use those as protection in strikes against bad working conditions. So, by applying some historical materialism, we can see that mechs could come into existence not because, oh yeah, it would be awesome in battle, but because maybe people end up working in things similar to a mech inside the factories. Things happen because other things happened before and led to it. In the constant war between the workers of the world and capitalists, one has to use whatever tool in its disposal to ensure fair working conditions. But that's just a theory. A game theory. Sorry. You know, of course I'm not actually saying that mechs are gonna come into existence like that. I'm just saying, I think Armored Core is a really smart piece of art because of many things actually, but also because it gives such a grounding explanation for the existence of huge fighting metal guys, and the game is all the better for it. Thank you for watching. Tune in next time for more hyperfixations on random stuff. Oh yeah, another possible reason for Mechs coming into existence is simply because people really want it all. There is also this channel called Hacksmith Industries that constructs a bunch of nerdy stuff, and they basically made a tank thread mech and a 6-leg mech. Take a look, it's awesome, it's crazy shit. Cheers guys.